for tuning into my channel. Patience with Spirit here, your psychic intuitive host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about your non-physicalness. I'm here with the Guild of the Golden Triangle, and I have another collective read for psychic development. But this time they guided me to my dream journal, and I haven't read this dream in so long. I was like, I forgot I dreamt it, but as soon as I started reading it, I was starting to recall it and the emotions of it and the feelings of it. And I was like, okay, well, let's see. And then I was like, well, tell me more. So I drew a card and I drew forest fire. And it says, only you can prevent forest fires. And then you is capitalized. And it says, the heat is on. So I took that to be important. So I'm going to read, this is from Saturday, April 14th, 2018. Okay. I started in a post-apocalyptic world. I was with Stephanie. We were in Vegas. It's an old friend I used to be friends with. Stephanie could just have been a spirit guide, maybe. Who spirit guides will often come to your dreams, but they'll look like other people, so that way they don't scare you. They have to take some kind of form. So whatever form is the least aggressive and the most pleasant, they'll take that form in your dreams to guide you, to show you things, okay? So they chose Stephanie because at that time I was friends with somebody named Stephanie. I was with Stephanie. We were in Vegas. We were driving around. All the houses were abandoned. Barely any people were around. I got worried that my mom might be in trouble. So we went to her house, which was one of the houses I grew up in on Trooper Street. That's like, it was a real street I lived on in Vegas. Me and Steph went to the house. I advised Steph to go wait in my old room. While I was investigating, I saw my mom in her favorite spot on the couch, and she had several other people over, all sitting on the long L-shaped couch as well. Before I jumped to any negative conclusions, I said hi to my mom and introduced ourselves to her new friends. In this world, you have to keep and is only half-ass locked up. I can see she has about 10 water bottles and a bunch of big books. And a very good quality telescope. It's night out, so I look through the scope and I see beautiful celestial bodies in the night sky. Then I turn my attention to these large books she has. I start organizing them while also flipping through them to study what they are. As I'm going through the large books and large scattered papers, I realize the subject material is very negative and involves an evil woman whose name starts with an S. As I keep going through the material, I am starting to worry more and more about those people my mom was hanging out with. Fast forward a few nights, and I've come back to check on my mom again. This time I go to her chill couch, and she isn't in her fave spot. She's in this weird catatonic ball stuffed in the corner of the couch, on the opposite side of her spot. And those people have taken over her fave spot and just neglected my mom. They're all high on something, and there is one young lady with dark, short, pixie hair, and I immediately know she is trouble, and her name starts with S. So I get my mom out of the couch and bring her into the other room to talk to her. As I look in her face to try and figure out what's going on, she looks horrifying. Her eyes are completely bloodshot, and they are moving in different directions. She's possessed or something. So I grab her arms and I shout a few times, "Mom! Mom!" but no response. So then I grab her arms a little harder and I scream, "Mary!" And it's like capitalized, "Mary!" And she snaps out of her daze. Then without hesitation, before those creatures hear me, I tell her, "Mom, you let a demon in your house. Her name starts with an S. Don't say it. We need to get rid of her before she hurts someone else." My mom knows right away. We have no time to waste. Flash forward to us in all white robes performing some kind of light ceremony to get the evil out. At one point of the light ceremony, we poured indigo blue paint on our white robes and turned night into day and vanquished those evil people from my mom's house. And then it says only you can prevent forest fires. The heat is on. I think so, there's like a group of people who have followed this false prophet whose name starts with an S that we will not say. Oh, the Williams sisters on the top. And the Wright brothers. There could be brothers and a group of brothers and sisters that are proclaiming to be some kind of religious group. Venus 1980, Serena 1981. Williams, American tennis champs. One heck of a sister act. So there's two sisters. There's two sisters and two brothers. Wilbur and Orville made the first powered airplane flights in history, although there were delays at the airport. So these brothers may have development delays. They may be developmentally delayed. And maybe the sisters too. Maybe these brothers and sisters are developmentally delayed in some way. Oh, waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls. And don't go taking a bath in the land of Oz with the Little Mermaid. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. These people have created some kind of reality. They're not developmentally sound or balanced. There's some kind of distortion about them. They have a distorted way of thinking. I don't know if they've always been that way or this happened because they started dibble-dabbling the bibbidi-bops. I don't know. But the land of Oz, we're not, the Wizard of Oz, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. So definitely some other, because the Wizard of Oz was an alternate reality. It was another place she went to that was false. It wasn't real. It was a dream. It was an illusion. But it had Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. So these people have to have their way or nothing at all. They're incapable of stopping whatever they're doing. Taking a bath. I have a lot of water references. Bathing facilities have been found in excavations in India from before 2000 BC. Soap on a rope hasn't. These people don't bathe. Taking a bath. Soap on a rope. Soap on a rope. Taking a bath. And then I have The Little Mermaid. A story by Hans Christian Andersen or the 1989 animated film by Disney. Guess which made more money? So something about taking a bath and money? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Now, if we look at the song by TLC, it's talking about being promiscuous, and it's talking about getting HIV or AIDS. Huh. Something about a group of sisters, a group of brothers, two sisters, two brothers, both developmentally delayed, in the land of Oz in some kind of illusion where they're promiscuous and possibly using sex for money? Because the Little Mermaids in the... That's tough. Let's keep going. Something about... I think taking a bath could be... It could be that they are sick. They created some kind of religion. They're in an illusion that I think they may have put on themselves on accident. because they're ignorant students of magic, of energy, I should say. Something about taking a bath. It says, an excavation of bathing facilities. And in The Little Mermaid. Something they do for money in the water, but they have HIV. So they're doing something, they're delayed. They don't understand, they're developmentally delayed. They don't understand that they're sick, and they're doing some kind of rituals in water or something, or maybe like a fake baptism or something. I don't know. Oh, my dream talked about water. How water was, you had to lock up the water. What is the, there's lots of references to water, and my dream talked about locking up the water. Recycling. More than 1 million tons of aluminum are not recycled. Where do you throw your cans? Not recycled each year. So are you saying they're recycling their water to say so they don't pay money or something? More than 1 million tons of aluminum are not recycled each year. Where do you throw your cans? I think that these people's water supply may have been compromised or something, and it could actually be disrupting their brain function or something, along with having HIV. Something in the water that they have are doing recycling. Something they're recycling. What is it? What? Cleopatra. Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, noted for love affairs with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, which came back to bite her in the ASP. Some kind of love. Oh my gosh, I've been getting this a lot lately. I think this family, I think this family started some religious group, and it stays in the family, but the queen, whoever, maybe that's the person with the pixie cut whose name starts with an S. She's like Cleopatra or something. But she's creating illusions, maybe through the water? Something with the water, which came back to bite her. Oh, maybe she was doing something with the water. She was recycling the water. But she's got HIV. And so by recycling the water and taking baths and making money, taking money for sex, possibly having sex with her siblings, she gave them all HIV? Is that what you're saying? Forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. The heat is on. Does that referring to like AIDS? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Ah. Anthony Hopkins. I have Anthony and Anthony. I have two references to Anthony's. British actor in The Elephant Man, Howard's End, and The Silence of the Lambs, knighted in 1992. Knighted. The Elephant Man, Howard's End, and The Silence of the Lambs. Underneath waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls. So this all started because someone was chasing someone who was sick or something? Antarctica, home to the lowest temperature. Okay, that means no. They're like, no, cold. Keep trying. Okay, not at that. Okay. Something about soap on a rope. Soap on a rope, isn't that a reference to like prison or something? Like, don't they get soaps on a rope? Okay, Spirit. This is a tough one. I like a challenge. Where should we go? You're becoming a galactic human, okay? Please guide me. What do you want me to know? Counselors also knew prescribed rituals and specific meditations that could be given to those whom they counseled. In this way, the culture continued from childhood to adulthood, and ritual was an essential aspect of personal development. These rituals helped each individual to understand the nature of the multidimensional universe and establish a relationship to it as a growing and fully conscious being. This essence of selfhood merged with the need for service to others and to the Time Lord's ultimate creation, the physical universe. Each individual was taught then that one incarnated into the physical universe in order to fulfill a specific purpose. Also, each individual was taught from birth that memories from our other lifetimes must not be forgotten. Thus, special counselors were assigned to each newborn and to their parents to begin the process of keeping the past life memories alive and the new life goals in perspective. Under the law of one, every individual had to discover its own life and love center and learn how to use this life and love center to appreciate its purposes and physical selfhood. This duty began at birth with the aforementioned rituals and was maintained through our early childhood. And this says negative 126 cold. So this family was born into ritual abuse. So it was completely opposite of what the creator had intended, because this says, and what we speak about on Spirit News. Hi, honey. Okay, good. I'm so happy. So, well, did you read the Bible verses to the kitty? Did that help? Maybe your cat was just feeling your energy or something. Um, so what we teach on Spirit News is that you get guides, like it's automatic. The minute you're born, you have a group of guides for past, present, and future. And you need them so you can recall when you are encountered with a mistake you're about to make that you've made before. And so what this is saying is the opposite happened. These people, this family dynamic from birth was taught, they weren't taught to honor their emotions or anything spiritual. They were actually ritually abused and probably were given negative energy attachments at a very young age. And then they grew up that way. And so the delay in their development is spiritual and emotional. They're delayed in their development. They're literally like King Henry or something, like with concubines and incestual things, and but they just believe that is, I don't know, like the way it's supposed to be or something. But it's Antarctica. It's cold as ice. It's negative 126. That is not the way that God intended it. It says right here, under the law of one, every individual had to discover its own life and love center and learn how to use this life and love center to appreciate its purpose for physical selfhood. This duty began at birth with the aforementioned rituals and was maintained throughout early childhood. Parents in this tradition were properly prepared and aided by the assigned clan counselors, your spirit guides. Just like we're doing, you have to ask your spirit guides to know these people are disconnected from the other side of spirit. They're only connected to one side, but they've been living this way for so long that they actually go out into the world and recruit people. I see like people knocking door to door. I see people like literally walking in neighborhoods just like Jehovah's Witnesses or something. Not Jehovah's Witness, but something else, something darker. And they knock on your doors and they recruit people and they make it seem like, I don't know, like the best thing ever. Like, how can you say no? And they use like something about water or something. Let me see. Where do you want to go? Let's do an imagine if. I haven't done imagine if in a while. Spirit, please tell me what the heck's going on here. 5. Imagine if you were a faux pas. Which would you be? Clip-on tie. Yeah. These people go around the neighborhood wearing clip-on ties looking like they're real professional, but they're really recruiting you for dark energy. Imagine if you were a writing implement. What would you be? Number 1, a fountain pen. Yeah. Just to make it look even more real, I carry my own fountain pen, like fancy. I get my pen at the dollar store. That shit'll be lasting for 2 years. You gotta refill your fountain pen every 5 seconds. Okay, I rolled a 5. Imagine if you were a light source. Which would you be? A lava lamp. A lava lamp. A lava lamp. Oh my gosh, I remember when I used to have my lava lamp, which I love, by the way, and really like another one. When it wasn't lit up, when it wasn't warm and lit up with light, the wax was like, oh, like my mom. Like my mom in the dream, she was literally like this, like a atrophied thing curled up in the corner with no light in her. She didn't have any light in her. They stole her light? Huh. So they steal people's light? Imagine if you had to sing at a karaoke bar, which song would he or she be? New York, New York, number 2. I rolled a 2 and it says New York, New York twice. So this could potentially be happening on the East Coast or New York. Alright, tell me more. What are these people doing? How can we stop them? What can we do? How can we be of service? They're living in an illusion. There's something they do with the water or something with being sick. A CDC. Isn't that contagious control? CDC van. A CDC van transporting a cool new strain of highly contagious plague. Oh, shit. They could have some kind of weird plague or something. Something about waterfalls, TLC, don't go chasing waterfalls, something about the water. They could have possibly spread this thing they had because they didn't know, because they live on some kind of commune maybe, or they've been using the same soap and they've been using the same tub or something about water. They've been like recycling their water, but their water is contagious. There's a highly contagious strain in their water. It could be a combination of AIDS and rust or something, some kind of bacteria. Oh my. A horde of zombies running towards you. I don't know if this is true, but I'm just going to say it for the data. I just got a vision of, like, someone making something, like in a lab in a basement. It looks like they're making drugs, honestly. It feels like they're making drugs. Some kind of drug, but the ingredients they're using are corrupted, or what's the word, tainted, or like they're recycling ingredients that are already contaminated with whatever's turning them into these people. That's why they're delayed, because they need to go to the doctor. They need to call CDC. Don't even leave the premises. Just call CDC, because have them come to you, because this is highly contagious, it says. Spirit says not to be worried. It's really just centralized to this group of people. Could potentially be 4 people. Could potentially be 4 people. Oh yeah, because 2 brothers, 2 sisters. 2 brothers and 2 sisters right here. A compassionate detective trying to catch a deadly serial killer. So these people could have potentially, because of this contagious plague that's going on, because of what they started with some weird religious group, cult really, because it's not based on God. We should just like make the word religion illegal, honestly. A compassionate detective trying to catch a deadly serial killer. So there is a detective out there that is starting to catch on to some kind of connection between some kind of cult, a highly contagious plague, and really bizarre behavior of a group of people, potentially 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I have the Williams sisters and the Wright brothers. Okay? Backyard barbecue with all of your friends. Backyard barbecue with all your friends. And Shootlu, I can't say it. This might have spread. This kind of looks like these people, but zombie-like. There are 4 people. So this might have happened. This might have spread, recycled. They might have had some kind of barbecue or get-together that was put together by this person, Cleopatra, whoever Cleopatra is. There's even 4 people on here. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 people. We've been talking about 12 people. We've been talking about 12 people in this cult. So I think that's the connection. So these people might have had a barbecue where they were using recycled water, possibly contaminated meat or something, and they invited neighbors over, and then something about taking a bath. They may have like taken a bath together or been in a body of water together that had this highly contagious whatever it was. I know we've been getting lately that um, someone, someone's dog got bit by a bat that had some kind of bacteria in it, and they killed the dog and for this cult and ate it and served it to people. So maybe they threw the body in the body of water that they were by where they were doing this, you know. I don't know. Something about a body of water. Don't go chasing waterfalls. This body of water doesn't have a waterfall. Waterfall is what rotates the water. That's why water is always moving, because if it stays stagnant, it builds bacteria, and it needs to come like a filtration system. If these people if these people put the body or the meat or the scraps, or even if someone was infected with HIV and they bled in the water, that would continue to grow and grow because of the stagnancy of the water. That's why there's a big green monster in this body of water. These people are highly contagious because of that. Oh, shoot. If you're around people who are acting completely out of whack, that are out of character, that may be exhibiting high violence or anger, like just really like this vibe, then you need to let them know to call CDC, or you need to call CDC for them, because they're not just acting that way for no reason. It's not just a mood swing. They're actually sick, some bacteria inside of them. Something with the water. A forgotten book of the Bible actually written by God, which ties the whole thing together and fixes all the potholes. This one is for real, guys. God is trying to tell you, wake up! You're not yourselves. There's something wrong inside and it's eating away at you. It's turning you into a monster. You're sick. You need to call CDC. There's something wrong and you need to do it now. 333 on the clock. And two people, one like, that's 333. And they said to read the Bible, so I'm going to read the Bible. A forgotten book of the Bible, actually written by God, which ties the whole thing together and fixes all the plot holes. The parable of the wedding feast. Jesus again in reply spoke to them in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven may be likened to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son. He dispatched the servants to summon the invited guests to the feast. To a feast, the barbecue. This person who claims to be God, who's a woman, Cleopatra or whatever, she threw some kind of barbecue. He dispatched his servants to summon the invited guests to the feast, but they refused to come. A second time he sent other servants, saying, tell those invited, behold, I have prepared my banquet. My calves and fattened cattle are killed, and everything is ready. Come to the feast. Some ignored the invitation and went away, one to his farm, another to his business. The rest laid hold of his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged and sent his troops, destroyed those murderers, and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, the feast is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy to come. Go out, therefore, into the main roads and invite to the feast whomever you find. The servants went out into the streets and gathered all they found, bad and good alike, and the hall was filled with guests. But when the king, didn't I say they go out and they look for people to recruit into their religion? They wear like ties, and they probably were like, oh, come to our party. It's going to be, oh, we have this get together, a banquet we're having for our religious thing. It's to show you what it's about. I can see it now. This person knew that they were going to make something that was going to create a horde of zombies. He said in reply, I will, son, go out and work. Son, go out and work in the vineyard today. He said in reply, I will not. But afterwards he changed his mind and went. The man came to the other son and gave the same order. Yes, sir, but he did not go. Which of the two did his father's will? They answered, the first. Jesus said to them, amen, I said to you, tax collectors and prostitutes are entering the kingdom of God before you. I told you, they have sex for money. And one of them has AIDS. And they did some kind of ritual in the water with the person who has AIDS, who maybe they were cooking the meat or something, and they cut themselves, or I don't know, they somehow contaminated the water. But not only that, there's something else in the water, because not only does someone have AIDS, but someone also served dog meat that was bit by a bat. That's why they killed the dog, and I don't know, they thought it would be funny or something to feed the dog to the people. Moved with pity, Jesus touched their eyes. Immediately they received their sight and followed him. Wow. Come through, Spirit, come through. This one's for real, you guys. Look, God's talking. He said, this one's for real. I'm trying to tell you, but you're not listening to me. Because these people aren't in a place to be listening to God. They're in a really low place. Something happened to them. Something with food, blood, and a ritual. And there's a detective that understands the importance of solving this, but they can't make the connection, because look at the craziness of it. I mean, God had to come down. Like, how does a mere man, a detective that knows nothing about energy or spirituality, make this connection? Spirit said, you. Me! Oh my gosh, if this could get out and help people, oh, please help them. Please. Oh, please help them. The Antichrist. This person who's pretending to be wearing a bow tie with a fountain pen is the fucking Antichrist. He's trying to ruin you. Oh my gosh, you guys trusted the wrong person, man. You guys trusted the wrong person because you don't have discernment, because these brothers and sisters were actually born into ritual abuse. A park ranger helping an endangered tortoise cross the tracks. Yeah, this is, yeah, the original Mona Lisa. These people are just normal people. They're totally bamboozled. They might be a little emotionally delayed, spiritually delayed, but they're not bad people. An obnoxious teenage couple making out on the tracks. This could involve teenagers. There could be teenagers that are in this group, because it said in the book, grab anybody. Prostitute, man, woman, child, grab anybody. We need as many people as possible, because they're the Antichrist. They were trying to do something with as many people as possible. Oh, look, an evil witch that steals and eats children. I cannot make it up, you guys. I can't make it up. God is trying to warn you guys. If you're watching, there's someone who's a witch or the Antichrist that pose as some kind of as God or something, and they're rounding up innocent people, children, mothers, fathers, detectives. Robo Hitler. I can't make it up. This person is evil. The entire water supply for a major city. Oh, they're trying to poison the water supply, you guys. They're trying to put this in the water supply. This one's for real, you guys. This one's for real. That's what, in my dream. In my dream, remember? I read that we had to lock the water up. Water was scarce because they're trying to poison the water. Oh my god. That's insane. Look, the water goes right into the city. Do not drink the water. Make sure you keep it out of your mouth. Don't drink the water. There's something wrong with it. I don't know if they put something in it on accident, and that's just what happened because of this whole fuckery, but murdered, acquitted on a technicality. A murderer acquitted on a technicality. And I had up here a detective trying to catch a deadly serial killer. This person who created this group is a serial killer. Where do I go from here? What do I do? How do I do it? I don't know, I'm learning. Any suggestions? Hello, help me. I don't know where to go now. Shit, how do we find, I think it's a woman. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. How do I find out? Let me see. Let's look in here. I don't know. Let's find out. God, please tell me what you want me to know. Something about... Let's see what it says. In any event, when my appointment with the Railroad Retirement Board was up, it was almost time for my 18th birthday. This says railroad, and look, there's railroad tracks in all of these pictures. Something with the railroad. In any event, when my appointment, maybe they work for the railroad, and they're about to retire. It was almost time for my 18th birthday. What? They were gonna retire at 18? I think this killer, I don't know if they killed at 18, but he's got a knife in his hand. Or 81, look. He could be 81? He's either 18 or 81, I don't know. Or maybe when he killed he was 18, but now he's 81. The only thing left for me is the Navy. He's a killer who went into the Navy, probably because he was drafted or something. Then they didn't care if he killed someone, so he was acquitted. I did this with a certain amount of trepidation. I am really clumsy with mechanical stuff, and I knew you had to do a certain amount of that in the basic training of any branch of the service. Could I get through it? Question mark. I wonder if they expect me to do heavy duty mechanical stuff. This person can't even put a nail inside of a birdhouse. This person can't even put a nail inside the birdhouse, but they put. Look, here's the train again. Something about a train. These are all on train tracks. Look, this water. Maybe the water is by a train track, or this person. There's a forgotten book of the Bible on a train track or something. Oh my gosh. If the train came up and picked us up, and it took about 18 hours. I have 18 to get from Cleveland to Great Lakes Naval Base outside Chicago. 18 hours to get from Cleveland to the Great Lakes. So I have Michigan and I have Chicago. Or Ohio, Chicago, and Michigan. Oh shit, damn. Oh shit, damn. Oh shit, damn. Oh my god. You guys, I did a I can't say it. Spirit, please take this off of me. I did a podcast on Spirit News about the trains. I saw trains that were filled with something the government was hiding, and the trains crashed or something and landed in the water. I think they fucked up and poisoned the water supply, and now shit's happening. Shit's hit the fan or something. Because you guys have to go listen to it. It's the alien invasion government disclosure one. And I saw a vision of these trains being filled with a white goo that they made that's supposed to eradicate their experiments. They were trying to get rid of their experiments. But they were exploding underground labs and stuff where they were doing this. And I don't remember. Something made them crash into some water supplies, and it must have been between the Great Lakes, Cleveland, or Ohio and Chicago. Whoa. Damn, I'm like so shocked. Parenting. The process of discovering you are becoming just like your parents. So I don't know what the connection is between the government and this group. Maybe someone in this group is in the government or something and has access or is part of some kind of government. That's what it is. That someone in this group, 444 on the clock, and 4 people. Someone in this group is an undercover government agent that recruits people for experiments or something. They must have went into this neighborhood and recruited this group of people that were already operating in the energy that they needed, because the government does understand mind control tactics, MK Ultra, the butterfly fire, like there's so many released court official documents that prove they do mind control experiments. You can go look them up. They're for public consumption because it's past the date for them to be closed. They can only be top secret for so long. So they were going out as religious groups. They're posing as religious groups to infiltrate neighborhoods under the guise of religion or God, and they're poisoning them and doing something with blood and I don't know, and some rituals. But these people were already, they target people who are already low in consciousness. That's why in the Bible, they did the test to see. They invited people, and those who were invited but didn't come were the ones they didn't want. But the ones who were invited that came were too, I don't know, were more welcomed, or no, he said they murdered them. They used them. They used them. Wow. How can we heal it? What do you want us to know? How can we heal it? I will do. Okay, they want me to do this one. Psalm, God's shield of protection. Military edition. That's so funny because these people, this serial killer joined the Navy at 18 after he killed somebody. That's how he got acquitted of murder. But now he's part of this. Maybe that's why he's the part of the government because he was in the Navy. Maybe he made some kind of agreement to get off to do this thing for them for that the government needed him to do. That's how they got off a murder. So whoever the murderer is going to be in their 80s now. They're going to be in part of this cult or family. Maybe it's one of these brothers. And they killed somebody. And they're Robo-Hitler. Look, the Antichrist. These are evil witches that eat children and steal children. Lord help me. Tell me what's wrong. I'm going to know. Abel F. Ortega, Corporal, World War II, survivor of Bataan Death March Korean War. By John Johnson, grandson. Thank you for your service, Mr. Abel. Cain and Abel. What? Okay, let me see. My grandfather Abel Ortega shared the wonderful testimony of how he survived the brutality of the torture inflicted by his Japanese captors during World War II. Although he had not yet surrendered his life to Christ, he came from a Christian home in which his family did not begin a meal until each child in the family quoted a Bible verse. His father was a Methodist minister and his mother was a strong believer in Jesus Christ. My grandfather later realized that the prayers of his faithful family members had protected him under some of the most dangerous conditions, such as the Bataan Death March when they were made to walk for over 90 miles with little to no food or water. He watched as his fellow soldiers were bayoneted, shot, burned, decapitated, and left for dead on the side of the road. As a result of the prayers of his mother, God provided him strength and opportunities to survive in situations that killed many of his fellow soldiers. This person that was in the Navy was already indoctrinated in ritual abuse because of their family. So that's why they killed someone at 18, because they were already the Antichrist. Then when they went into the Navy to escape their fate of killing someone, this person just didn't, they were already in this level of negativity. They were already evil at this point. This was just like a building up. This was from 18 to 81. He was 18 years old when all this started. Now he's 81 and shit's hitting the fan. And God's like, this one's for real, guys. Okay? A forgotten book by the Bible, actually written by God, which ties the whole thing together and fixes all the plot twists. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not really sure where to go from here because I don't know. I just have to think of a way to get a little more detail, but this is what I got for now. I hope it helps. Don't drink the water.